Hello, I'm Ralph Curtis, and this is Andrew Mindlin, my partner, and we're attorneys with the Curtis Legal Group. And we want to talk to you today a little bit about workplace injuries. When someone is injured on the job, they have what's called a workers' compensation case. They can bring an action that involves their employer, and the employer provides them with treatment, medical treatment. They can give them temporary disability payments, perhaps some rehabilitation payments. It's all within the workers' compensation program that's provided through the state of California. Now, in some cases, somebody might be injured as a result of the fault of someone other than a fellow employee. For example, we call them a third party, somebody that's not employed by the employee's employer. In those cases, somebody might have more rights or different rights than they do under the workers' compensation system.
They sure do, Ralph. In those situations where it's a non-employer that has injured you while you're on the job, well, you have rights against that non-employer. For example, if you're out in a vehicle and you're driving for your employer and you're suddenly rear-ended by another party, well, the owner of that other vehicle, the driver of that other vehicle, they're all responsible to you for damages in what's called civil forum, where you're entitled to pain and suffering damages, you're entitled to your lost wages, you're entitled to medical bills, even if you're treating within the workers' compensation system. You get all those damages that you don't get in workers' comp.
In situations where somebody is injured on the job by the fault of a third party, and they do bring an action against that third party to recover damages, they can still recover benefits through the workers' compensation system. However, the workers' compensation insurance carrier then has some specific rights, don't they, Andy?
They sure do. They have the right to get reimbursed from your case, that is the civil case, for the amount of money that they spent in the workers' compensation system. But many times, that's just the piddlings compared to the amount of money that you can receive in the civil system when you sue or make a claim against that third party, that non-employer who injured you. And that's why it's so important to get to an attorney's office to have all that analyzed and figured out, because you could be leaving compensation on the table.
Sometimes it actually occurs that an injured party has both an attorney to represent them against the third party, as well as an attorney that represents them in the workers' compensation action. Isn't that true?
That's true. They'll have both. They'll have an attorney for the workers' compensation case and another lawyer for the civil case. Two separate lawyers. And many times that's not a bad idea. That way both systems are kept separate and apart, and that your best interests are represented in each system. Because these cases do run what we call concurrently. They occur at the same time. The same case that caused you to have a workers' comp case is the same case that's giving rise to a civil action. That is that tort action I was speaking about earlier. So that is exactly why you may want two separate lawyers.
So if you've suffered an injury while working on the job, whether the result of a situation created by the employer or something caused by a third party, please feel free to give us a call. We'd be happy to talk to you. We're the Curtis Legal Group.
Call 1-800-LAW-3080.